Hello, friends. Today, in the sixth episode of Editorial Made Easy, we're going to discuss an article that appeared on July 24th, 2019, in the Business Today. The article is titled National Medical Commission Bill 2019. What is it, and why is the medical fraternity opposed to it? Written by Prasanna Mohanty. For the convenience of analysis, I have divided the entire article into 11 screenshots, along with commentary to capture the summary of each screenshot. For an in-depth understanding of the topic, I would suggest you also read another opinion piece published on 23rd August 2019 in the Indian Express by Dr. Shah Alam Khan, Professor of Orthopedics, AIIMS, New Delhi. The article is titled National Medical Council Act Offers Little Change, Brings in a Host of New Problems. So let's start this editorial analysis with the first two screenshots. We can see here that the author is drawing our attention to the fact that National Medical Commission Bill 2019 is an attempt to replace the controversial Indian Medical Council. The NMC Bill 2019 will supersede the IMC, that is Indian Medical Council, on the ground that it had failed to discharge its duties and indulge in corrupt practices. NMC Bill proposes to have 4 autonomous boards to take care of its different functions. First, Undergraduate Medical Education Board to set standards and regulate medical education at undergraduate level. Second, Postgraduate Medical Education Board to set standards and regulate medical education at postgraduate level. Third, Medical Assessment and Rating Boards for inspection and rating of medical institutions. Fourth, Ethics and Medical Registration Board to regulate and promote professional conduct and medical ethics, and maintain national registers of licensed medical practitioners and community health providers. Here, the community health providers are a new class of medical practitioners to be given licenses to practice modern medicine at mid-level to those connected with modern scientific medical professionals. Unfortunately, the criteria for which is not prescribed yet. We can see here that the Act provides for a common exit examination, that is National Exit Test, at the end of MBBS course. This test is for granting license to practice and will also be the basis of admission to postgraduate courses. It appears that this provision is based on the premise that exit examinations produce good students. However, evaluation an MBBS student at the end of the final year through multiple choice questions is definitely not a good idea. Existing evidence from right across the world clearly favors subjective clinical evaluation as the best means to evaluate an upcoming doctor. The bill proposes for the NMC to frame guidelines for determination of fees and other charges. In this screenshot, we can see that currently state governments determine fees for 85% of seats in medical institutions. Rest are left for the management. Other powers of the NMC include permission to establish new medical colleges, start postgraduate courses, increase the number of seats, recognition of medical qualifications in and outside India, etc. The need for introducing NMC bill arose because IMC had failed to keep pace with time and various bottlenecks had crept into the system with serious detrimental effects on medical education as well as delivery of quality health services. In fact, in this screenshot we can see that a parliamentary panel which had looked into the matter had recommended restructuring and revamping of the regulatory system of medical education and practice. It had also recommended separation of functions by forming 4 autonomous boards and appointments of regulators through selections rather than election. 4 major concerns raised by IMA. First, the community health practitioners, that is CHPs, being allowed to practice modern medicine without even defining their qualifications. They are to be given licenses to the extent of 1/3 of the total number of licensed medical practitioners in India. There is in fact an apprehension that workforce connected with modern medicine like pharmacists, Ayush practitioners, and even those healthcare workers who are working at the primary health centers may get licenses to practice modern medicine without having sufficient background in the study of anatomy, physiology, or pathology, which form the basis of modern medicine. Their significant presence will endanger patient safety and dilute healthcare in the country. In this screenshot, we can see that every year approximately 68,000 medical graduates pass out of more than 500 medical colleges, and only 23,000 manages to qualify for post-graduation courses. The rest 45,000 end up looking for jobs. So here the government is providing an opportunity for partially qualified persons to practice while the qualified ones are available and frustrated because of unemployment. The second major objection is to propose national exit test for giving both licenses for practice to those who have already cleared the MBBS exam as well as for admission to postgraduate broad specialty courses. Now these two objectives can't be reconciled since the level of knowledge and training required for both are very different. In fact, in the last NEET exam, only 70,000 of 1.43 lakh candidates qualified for postgraduate courses. Now think about those 73,000 qualified MBBS doctors who couldn't qualify for these courses. Now they will not be licensed to practice, thus defeating the very objective of providing greater number of trained health manpower. The third major objection is to frame guidelines to determine fees and all other charges for 50% of seats in private medical institutions and deemed to be universities. The NMC proposes to only frame guidelines for regulating fees for 50% of seats. This is further dilution of the power to fix fees where all 100% seats may be available for the highest bidder, thereby increasing the cost of medical education. In the last screenshot, we can see that IMA has another major objection about the power the bill gives to the central government to give policy and other directives to the NMC and its autonomous boards, which will be binding and final. This again is contradictory to the very concept of autonomy of the 4 boards. Not only that, the central government has also been empowered to give directives to state governments for implementing provisions of the bill, which will also be binding, reflecting the anti-federal character of the bill. Now friends, after having requisite understanding of this topic, I'm sure you are now in a better position to answer all of these probable questions. First, analyze and discuss the provisions of the National Medical Commission Bill 2019 that are facing widespread resistance from medical fraternity across the country. Second question, critically analyze if the National Medical Commission Bill 2019 encourages quackery. Third question, discuss if the provisions of short-term training of community providers proposed in the National Medical Commission Bill 2019 will lead to substandard care for the rural population. Please do make an attempt to answer at least a couple of these questions. You can email me your best answers at editorialmadeeasy@gmail.com. So friends, that's it for now. if you feel some of your friends could benefit from this video, please do share it after subscribing the channel so that you never miss on the latest episodes. Thanks a lot for your patient listening. Bye for now.